So we get your address just for discussion.
1655 Sweetwater Avenue, Paulsboro, New Jersey.
Welcome.
I live right across the street from that house. And when you have an abandoned house, nobody's around, all that debris and stuff, it creates rodents, it creates a whole array of things. You got kids running around there playing, and next thing they're going to do is break the windows. And if somebody's paying the tax, that's who the owner is. So it should be easy to track them down. But it's an eyesore, and it's a drain on our property if we want to sell it. The next issue is the speeding. Every time I come out, I bring it up. Me and Larry was out on the street in the fall. Two cars come up side by side and race that Sweetwater Avenue. I know the police can't be every place at one time, but there is something that can be done to slow down the traffic on that street. All day and most of the night, you see cars zooming, and they're not running no 40 miles an hour. They're running more like 50 or 60 miles an hour because you can hear them gunning it before they get there. We need something done before someone gets seriously hurt. We had one lady got hit right on that street. So we would like for the mayor and council and the police department to do something about the traffic.
So as you're speaking, the chief is hearing what you're saying as well. So if you care to talk to the chief, we're going to talk to him. By the way, what you tell us, we have it on Mansell Avenue, we have it on Spruce Street, we have it on Penn Line. People today, they like to drive, and chief will tell you we write tickets, but like you said, they can't be everywhere. We just don't want anybody to get killed.
I like to drive too, but I can't drive and not get a ticket. You set a police over there on Huff Avenue, back up there, with some radar on there, you get them.
Yep.
The next thing is same problem. I guess I've been coming in for the last 5-10 years. That coming in the manor, crossing over, going in the back. Now I watched last weekend.
I thought that had slowed up a little bit. That hadn't slowed up at all?
Yeah, it slows up until they get some new people in there.
So that has,
I looked way back in there. It was a car sit there the whole weekend. Those people don't live there because I don't see that car during the week. It's a old 1970 something Lincoln. And it goes way, you can only see the back end of it sitting out there. Now you got that field bin, people going in there dumping trash in there.
it's not, is anyone picking that trash up, or is the trash staying when they don't?
No, nobody's back there to pick it up. The owner of that property could put a pile of dirt, a burn of dirt across there. He could put several things across there. Keep that traffic from jumping that curb.
Cut it off.
Yeah. Now, I appreciate it, if you look into it.
Yeah, we'll contact him again, or get Larry to move some of the dirt from in front of the house and put it over there and block that driveway, and then they'll take care of that. But no doubt about it. So the person we need to talk to again is the owner of that, of the garden, right? Who do we talk to get this covered?
Somebody talked to, I think you said you talked to someone in the,
Paulsboro Garden?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to see if you thought something had changed. That's why I'm going to call tomorrow.
well, I think they might have changed ownership.
No, still,
It's still the same?
yeah, they want to go tomorrow.
Okay.
See if we can help with that one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Barry, can you talk? You'll be next, Barry's next, and you're next.
Barry Cordell, 1820 Overbrook Avenue. Good evening. First, I'd like to thank Councilman Hamilton for his assistance with the equipment through the county. And more importantly, I want to thank you for your participation. He was actually out there with us and helped clean up the streets in this area here. So I want to thank you for that. I much appreciate it.
And Barry, we thank your group as well.
Thank you, John. And I also want to thank the borough, too, for their prompt action to our funding request just have a question in my mind, because from January up until the April 7th meeting here, you were talking about tax increases, tax increases, tax increases. Was there a sudden influx of revenue, or how did we stave this tax increase off?
There was a couple things, and I want to say, as the record records, that it was a great effort by the administrator and the members of this governing body, as well as the municipal family, because every department was asked to do with a little bit less. But what really helped us out was a couple points. One, we have reorganized how we purchase health insurance for our employees, and a considerable savings because we joined what's called a HIP. You've often heard us talk about JIP for our insurance purposes, where we're going to go to municipalities. This HIP is like a health insurance JIP, which means we're going to go to municipalities and the school districts to change how we buy our health insurance, and at the same time having the same benefit because we're required to contract with it. So we had a considerable savings in the health insurance side against what we were buying from, I think, Blue Cross Blue Shield, if I'm not mistaken. So not only do we have a savings, we did not have an increase because we changed. We were able to do that in timetable to help us out. That was one. The second thing was we had 3 members of the municipal family retire, and we replaced the 3 with 2 part-time employees, which has a lesser salary because they're working less and is not required to pay benefits. That helps us. An additional thing that helped us was the fact that since we are resolving these lawsuits, we do not have to set aside money for both experts and attorney's fees. So that money is allowed to go back and help the budget out. The reason there was uncertainty early on in the year of what we had is because we just didn't know where we were going to land. Plus there was the issue of how much state aid would come, and the state aid was equal to last year, where we didn't know if there was going to be a reduction. That turned out that the formula that came from Trenton was going to help us, and that helped us. So those things all contribute to us being able to hold this thing even this year, which is rather remarkable because we still have a reduction on ExxonMobil, second phase of that, and we had DP, which had paid us a community benefit fee, even though they did not have to pay taxes on the remainder of the court project. That money stopped this year, so we didn't have that in the budget. Now, this budget is also designed heading into next year. We will have an additional ExxonMobil hit. We will have the first payment due on the settlement for Citgo. That stuff is being negotiated now, what that number will be. But our intention was to have this budget lead to stability while we wait for the new revenues to come. So the savings came in large part in the areas I just mentioned. And there's a few other small contributing things as well in the structure of the budget. So we were able to hold it at 0, which I was real pleased with that as the members of this governing body.
Well, there were no programs put aside, and that maybe we're going to have to deal with down the road, because I'm not a big proponent of putting things off now, and we're going to have to pay double down the road. I'm really happy to see that you didn't do the scheme with Governor Corzine, where we could defer our pension payments, which I thought made no sense. I was happy to see that. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. We didn't do any of that to keep this tax rate down.
No, this is a straightforward budget as can be done. And plus, municipal budgets follow very, very strict guidelines, because our stuff has to move through a process of approval. We will approve it, and it has further scrutiny through the Department of Community Affairs. So we did have available to us to defer the pension payment. We collectively chose not to do that because the interest that we would have to pay back would be greater than the value that we would have gotten for it in the short term. And we decided, when looking down the road with the Citgo settlement coming, that that was something that we didn't think was enough benefit. So we did not do that, and all of our obligations are going to be fully met. Now, we will be, by the way, because this is a budget designed to take us further. We will be further working on this budget. There will be no tax increase. But that doesn't mean we're going to spend everything that's in budget this year, because we have a sense of what we're going to be doing next year and what we're hoping is going to come in time. So we're trying